Coming up on 5 Minute News. British Columbia wildfires cause evacuations to double to 35,000. Gavin Newsom declares state of emergency as Hurricane Hilary lashes California. And Maui wildfires take toxic toll on marine ecology. It's Monday, August 21. I'm Anthony Davis. Forest fires in Canada's western province of British Columbia intensified on the weekend, with the number of people under evacuation orders doubling as authorities warned of difficult days ahead. The province declared a state of emergency on Friday to access temporary authoritative powers to tackle fire-related risks as out-of-control wildfire ripped through interior British Columbia, partially shutting some sections of a key highway between the Pacific coast and the rest of Western Canada and destroying many properties. The current situation is grim, Premier Daniel Eby told reporters, saying some 35,000 people were under an evacuation order and a further 30,000 were under an evacuation alert. Eby said the province is in dire need of shelter for evacuees and firefighters and ordered a ban on non-essential travel to make more temporary accommodation available. Officials also urged residents to avoid operating drones in the fire zone, saying it could impede firefighting efforts. Forest fires are not uncommon in Canada, but the spread of blazes and disruption underscores the severity of its worst wildfire season yet. Over 55,000 square miles of land, roughly the size of New York State, have already burned, and government officials project the fire season could stretch into autumn due to widespread drought-like conditions in Canada. California Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency for most of Southern California in order to enact emergency response and recovery efforts. Hilary, a Category 2 hurricane, brought catastrophic and life-threatening flooding to Baja California and the southwestern U.S. Forecasters predicted the eye of Hilary would make landfall in Southern California on Sunday evening as a weak Category 1 or a tropical storm, with rainfall amounts ranging from 2 to 10 inches. No tropical storm has made landfall in Southern California since September 25, 1939, according to the National Weather Service. 45 people were killed and property losses were estimated to be $2 million in that storm, the NOAA said. Newsom issued the state of emergency on Saturday to help mitigate the damage from Hilary. More than 7,500 boots on the ground were deployed to help local communities. California has thousands of people on the ground working hand in hand with federal and local personnel to support communities in Hurricane Hilary's path with resources, equipment and expertise. We're mobilizing all of government as we prepare and respond to this unprecedented storm, Newsom said. As the toll from Maui's catastrophic wildfires continued to climb, experts warned the disaster also posed a grave threat to the coral reef and delicate ocean ecosystems that surround the devastated town of Lahaina. Layers of charred soils and toxic contaminants were left among the wreckage, where thousands of buildings and blackened cars lay in smoldering ruins. The conflagration that claimed more lives than any other U.S. wildfire in the last century burned to the shoreline, littering underwater habitats with scorched boats and debris. The ashen aftermath could end up wreaking more havoc if allowed to slip into the aquatic environment. The areas that burned are right by the ocean and all the vegetation cover was burned, said Louis Rocker, curator at the California Academy of Sciences, who added that rains could soon wash the topsoil into the sea, inundating marine habitats with toxic sediment. Ash and runoff from the fire could be deadly for the reef-building corals that thrive in pollutant-free waters where light can reach them. The underwater invertebrates that typically feed on plankton do not have the ability to distinguish food from filth and may also ingest the harmful runoff. The situation is one of many ecological concerns as relief efforts continue, with plans only beginning to be put in place for cleaning up the enormous amounts of toxic wreckage left behind. Experts have long warned of the threats posed by changing landscapes across the Hawaiian Islands, particularly the proliferation of non-native grasses that are prone to burning and have been blamed for fueling the Maui fire. Considered culturally important to native Hawaiians, the vibrant coral reef is also a tourism lure that helps to sustain the island's economy. Home to native fish populations and other aquatic creatures, the health of the reef is also closely tied to sustenance on the island. Climate change has been the biggest driver in the decline of coral, and reefs in West Maui also help produce coral larvae that replenish reefs across the islands, according to Rob Ferguson, a coral reef watershed management specialist associated with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Coral Reef Conservation Program. These reefs have high concentrations of endemic marine species that don't live anywhere else in the world, he said. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.